the very technologies that make this happen. And I've said this many times in the 3 or so engagements that I've been here, is that semiconductors are, in fact, the building blocks of digital technology. So thank you for making this possible. And we've known that both COVID-19 has presented both challenges and opportunities for our semiconductor industry. It has profoundly impacted everyone, and that's something we all know. And as Jennifer mentioned, many businesses continue to face supply chain disruptions and manpower challenges due to the travel restrictions. But despite these obstacles, I'm grateful that our semiconductor companies have managed to keep production going to meet the heightened global demand for your products. And today, Singapore accounts for about 5% of global wafer fabrication capacity and 19% of the global semiconductor equipment market share. If you think about it, it's quite remarkable for a country the size of Singapore. And let me put this into context. We have less than 0.1% of the world's population and less than 0.001% of the world's land resources, yet we produce almost a fifth of global semiconductor equipment. But it's not a coincidence. Companies invest here in Singapore because of our skilled talent, our global connectivity, the ease of doing business, and the well-developed semiconductor research and manufacturing ecosystem. And these are strengths which we take very seriously and obsessively build upon because they differentiate us from our competition and allow us to continue to serve the world's needs from this little red dot. And our semiconductor industry has grown healthily in the last year. As you are all very well aware, the pandemic has spurred global demand for consumer electronics, digital services, causing a surge in demand for semiconductors to power these technologies. We expected this semiconductor super cycle to persist as the application of new tech like AI, IoT, and 5G fuel the industry's growth in the longer term. And these trends then present an opportunity for Singapore to capture growth in the semiconductor industry. However, we now find ourselves in a very different operating environment. Why? Because many countries view semicon chips as a strategic resource. And so the competition to attract and anchor such investments has thus intensified. So for Singapore to strengthen our value prop and our semiconductor ecosystem, our companies must be equipped to build new capacity and capabilities. It's hence fitting that this event is themed Emerging Stronger, Innovate, Connect, and Collaborate. Just allow me to elaborate a little bit more. The first is innovate, and how semiconductor companies can lead the digital transformation of manufacturing. Indeed, semiconductor companies must continue to innovate, and you've been doing so by adopting digital transformation so that you can all become even more competitive. And tech advancement is changing the face of manufacturing and creating new opportunities for companies. We all know about this, right? There are leaps in computing power that have enabled AI and analytics. That much we know. But additive manufacturing too has transformed production processes and repair cycles. And then we know also that IoT and the use of digital twins have transformed traditional production lines into dynamic interconnected systems. And we have companies that are upgrading and transforming their operations here to stay globally competitive. For example, Global Foundries introduced new autonomous robotics and automation in its fabs to rely less on direct labor and employ higher skilled workers. UTAC acquired wafer bumping assets in Singapore earlier this year, which has enabled them to provide full turnkey wafer level chip scale package services in Singapore to all their customers. But besides strong and capable companies, the ones which I mentioned earlier, our semiconductor industry needs a robust network to find new business opportunities and adopt advanced manufacturing solutions. So in addition to my first point, which is innovating, we also need to be able to connect, which is my second point. And connecting means to build up industry networks and to tap on the industry for growth. So our semiconductor companies must connect and leverage all of these industry networks to seek new business growth opportunities. And SSIA has been a strong partner to help strengthen the networks among industry players. SSIA create useful platforms, such as today's event, for industry players to come together and discuss how to push boundaries even further in the semiconductor industry. As Jennifer mentioned, I'm a big fan and friend of SSIA. And Andrew, Jennifer, Wee Sing, and the team, and I'll always be here to support the efforts. In Singapore, we have a robust local supplier base that businesses can connect with and leverage. Today, 46% of Singapore's local precision engineering companies, which is about more than 1,000 firms, serve our semiconductor industry. And many of these firms provide automation and process monitoring solutions to the larger semicon players. These are highly advanced and complex solutions, for example, producing wet chemical etches and inspection machines, or designing customized AI and I 4.0 automation solutions for the industry. So I can encourage everyone to connect with them, and then not just connect, but then also collaborate with them, which is my third point. The collaborating then means to leverage on your partnerships to push boundaries and then to uplift our industry. And manufacturing companies will face greater pressure to rethink their business models and manufacturing operations as the industry expands. Companies must therefore upgrade their capabilities and develop talent to remain competitive. When I talk about collaboration, our semiconductor industry provides many of these exciting job opportunities for locals across the diverse activities in the value chain. This includes new roles such as data scientists and AI analysts, which will continue to grow as tech adoption accelerates. So public-private collaborations can help take this talent and capability development just one step further. I'll give you just a few examples. So for example, if you're a job seeker exploring a career in the industry, EDB and WSG are co-organizing a 2-week virtual career fair from 16 August to 6 September 2021. And this virtual career fair will give job seekers the opportunity to learn about the industry and training schemes available. So please do visit the WSG website to find out more. Another example is the Semiconductor Vision 2020, which is a task force that our EDB and a well-represented community of semiconductor companies, including foundries, equipment, and assembly and test companies. What does this task force do? Well, this task force grooms the next generation of semiconductor leaders, and it will help them to collaborate on national efforts to improve their labor productivity and energy efficiency. The task force will also help facilitate formal industry consultations for R&D and strategic alliances. Now, industry collaborations are also important for channels for businesses to grow. And the industry has established the SME Local Ecosystem Improvement Committee just in October last year to convene global and local industry leaders to strengthen the local semiconductor ecosystem by collaborating between manufacturers and suppliers. These include global and local industry leaders like Global Foundries, Applied Materials, Micron, and Denselight. And in the area of capability development, partnerships, collaborations such as the model factories at SimTech or SIMTech, Advanced Remanufacturing and Technology Center or ARTC, and the National Robotics Program or NRP continue to drive the innovation and uplift the semiconductor ecosystem. And I just wanted to also assure everyone here that our government will continue to work with industry partners to help you to facilitate these partnerships and collaborations. We will also build the ecosystem required to nurture new capabilities among companies in our semiconductor industry as part of our broader drive to strengthen our manufacturing sector and achieve our manufacturing 2030 vision to become a global innovation, business, and talent hub for advanced manufacturing. So I've said quite a lot now, but please allow me to conclude by again underscoring the need for our companies to innovate, connect, and collaborate so that we can all seize opportunities and emerge stronger from the pandemic. And Semiconductor Business Connect 2020 will bring us that one step forward on this continuous journey. So I encourage all participants to take this opportunity to exchange ideas, network, and forge new partnerships and collaborations that can help us to push the boundaries in the semiconductor industry. And with that, I wish you all a very fruitful session ahead. Thank you.